Hello everyone, welcome to Science and Tech series with Dr. Vivek Rana. Topic for today's discussion is from health section. There is a disease which is dominating headlines. So we'll be decoding that disease which it has set alarm bells, but ICMR has recently clarified there is no need to once again press the panic button yet. We just need to be cautious, and this is just a part of a proactive approach so that diagnostic and treatment protocols can be timely designed, because already due to the current pandemic there is a lot of fear mongering going on. So we just need to be calm and not just get flayed by the sensational, you could say, the news items which every other virus is being now painted as the potential pandemic. You have to understand pandemic are once in a generation event, and there is no need to just panic on just detection of any virus, because we have seen in last few weeks any virus, if it happens to be from China, there is a speculation that it's going to turn out to be another major disaster. So the CAT-Q virus is the new virus which is now gaining the notoriety, you could say. So we'll be decoding what this virus is, what are the systems it affects, and why India remains a risk country for outbreak of such viruses. So first of all, you have to understand that this genus of this virus belongs to Orthobunia virus. Now Orthobunia virus includes the viruses which includes the arboviruses as well, and these arboviruses are the ones to really look out for, because these viruses have the tendency to infect both humans as well as the economically viable livestock species. So basically it falls under the category of zoonotic diseases, even though they might primarily infect some of our livestock animals, but human transmission cannot be ruled out. So now the important thing in this virus is the name, because you can see the name is quite, it's not related directly to the genus, just I have discussed, it could have the name the Bunia virus or arbovirus or some other specific name, and it has nothing to do with the cat species, because examiner, if it wants to frame a question on CAT-Q virus, is likely to confuse you that it's a virus which is impacting the tiger family or the big cat family, endangering our critically endangered or threatened species. So first and foremost, let's just decode the nomenclature part. Now, the first ever case of CAT-Q virus was documented in 2004, which also puts rest to the theory that it's some new virus or novel virus like corona which is outbreaking. It was documented in 2004 in the location Cat Quy. This is near Hanoi in Vietnam, where the first ever case was confirmed. So you have to understand, just like we had seen the Ebola named after a river, or you could say Nipah virus which was named after Malaysian village, Cat Quy is the name of a place in Vietnam where the first case was detected in mosquito species. So this is where the topic has to commence. Now these are the 2 points if a science examiner wants to frame a question, that what is the primary organism which gets infected through this CAT-Q virus, and which is the vector which is transmitting the disease. So first of all, you have to understand the main mammalian host which has been detected is once again happens to be the swine, the pig. You have seen the G4 virus and other viruses which are directly or indirectly related to the pig. We had the African swine fever as well this year, which is primarily a disease of pig. So once again, the species which is mainly infected is the pig species, and mainly the pigs of China are once again being infected. So this is where the case starts, because India shares the close boundary contact and we should be careful about it. And the vector here happens to be one of the most common vector of most of the protozoan diseases, or you could say the vector-borne diseases, the Culex mosquito. Even though in malaria, you don't have to confuse it. In malaria, we had studied the female Anopheles, and Aedes aegypti mosquito is the one which is responsible for Zika virus outbreak, or you could say even the Nipah and the other you could say dengue, chikungunya. But here you have to understand the mosquito which is primarily responsible for Japanese encephalitis virus outbreak is the main culprit. So because India has a substantial population of this particular mosquito species as well, there are breeding grounds, so we should adopt a cautious approach. Now the system affected, just like in Japanese encephalitis, we had seen there is inflammation of the nerve membrane. So meningitis is one of the primarily symptom, and pediatric in children the encephalitis is once again seen, so which could even result in death. So that sets the alarm bell. So if an examiner asks which system is affected, you have to pick the nervous system, because generally examiner don't tend to ask you about the various the symptoms of the acute febrile illness, fever. They are common in many diseases. Now coming to the risk factor, that why this disease is suddenly in news, because ICMR report was published where they have alerted that in 2 individuals antibodies have been confirmed against this particular strain of virus. So the purpose of that report was so that appropriate diagnostic and treatment protocols can be timely designed, so that whenever such disease outbreak on a large scale, India is better prepared. But somehow some media houses as well as some current affair portals have highlighted that just sensationalize it, because once again, because the cause of origin, you could say the vaccine cases are once again in China, so the alarm bells have set in. So why India has a risk factor? Because primarily both host as well as vector are there in India. We have the swine population, which recently also experienced the outbreak of African swine fever in Arunachal and Assam. So we don't want to repeat it. And also the main vector. So we make sure that in this season the hygiene and sanitation standards are maintained at the best optimum level, because at the end such insects are breeding ground for an outbreak of various vector and zoonotic diseases. And in case they are viruses, there is no particular specific treatment available, it can really be further aggravate the burden which we are already facing at the moment. So we cannot afford another outbreak. So this is what this cat2 virus is. I hope it has addressed all your queries regarding the cat2 virus what in the media. If you have any other specific query which has not been addressed, feel free to just ask them in comment section. I will try to answer the genuine queries. So whenever some disease is in news, there is always a possibility, because the examiner wants to frame a predictable question, he might frame it from the disease which we all are currently witnessing at the global level. But if he wants to surprise, if he wants only few students to attempt that question, it could be an out-of-box virus which was just in week for dominated headlines for a week and subsided without causing any death. So this year there have been few viruses, right from the Hanta virus, G4 virus, African swine fever. There is another one in the list. So make sure you are ready for the worst as well as for the predictable, because that's what makes a difference. So I hope this session was useful. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.